poetic. You know, adding a little flair to their otherwise monotonous lists of grain taxes and fish quotas. But no, court records, actual parchment-bound proceedings, have been found all over Europe. One famous case from 1386 involved a sow in Falaise, France. She was found guilty of killing a child and was sentenced to death. She was dressed in human clothing, paraded through town, and publicly hanged. Because symbolism, retribution, general medieval weirdness, even insects weren't safe. In 1510, a group of French peasants sued a horde of weevils for destroying their crops. The court appointed a lawyer to represent the insects, presumably someone who had annoyed the judge recently. After several hearings, the case was dismissed because, well, the bugs didn't show up. Classic defendant behaviour. But here's the twist. This wasn't random insanity. To medieval minds, justice applied to the entire creation. Animals, though lower than humans, were still part of God's moral universe. If they committed a crime, or were suspected of being in league with dark forces, they faced the consequences. The Middle Ages didn't do things halfway. Some of these trials were ecclesiastical, meaning the church got involved. Others were secular, with full legal proceedings. All of them are now prime examples of how deeply humans can anthropomorphize anything with legs and a bad attitude. Nothing says medieval torture quite like the Iron Maiden, that infamous human-shaped metal sarcophagus, lined with spikes on the inside, designed to turn heretics into Swiss cheese. You've seen it in museums, horror films, and probably that one guy's edgy high school sketchbook. There's just one problem. It's a complete historical fraud. Yes, the Iron Maiden is one of the most iconic torture devices never actually used in the Middle Ages, and yet it's paraded around as if it were the go-to tool of every moody inquisitor with a flair for the theatrical. Truth is, medieval torturers were creative, disturbingly so, but this particular device was a 19th century invention, because apparently the Industrial Revolution wasn't horrifying enough on its own. So where did it come from? The first known Iron Maiden was cobbled together in the late 1700s or early 1800s in Germany, likely by someone who thought, you know what this museum needs? A big, spiky lie. The idea was to create a compelling and horrifying display of what medieval justice might have looked like if everyone back then had watched too many slasher films. It was a hit. People loved the spectacle, because nothing sells quite like a morbid